car enthusiasts unite.
The coolest things I've seen so far is that and this.
As Miami's legendary event is back, South Florida speaks up.
2 weeks and a day from the death of Lolita the orca, who was held captive here for 53 years.
After the death of a beloved animal, technology at its finest.
Our hope is basically we can catch or detect the wildfire as early as possible.
How drones could save the future of wildlife. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Good morning, South Florida. I'm Julian Davis.
And I'm Nicole Ardila. Today is Tuesday, September 5th, 2023.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Florida's Big Bend empowering forward as crews continue working to restore electricity. Both the governor and the president show support for those that were most affected by Hurricane Idalia. President
Biden came down to Florida over the weekend to survey the damage, telling the public that the nation has their back and that he was ready to send any help the state needed. Fortunately for many of those Floridians, Governor Ron DeSantis says that restoration efforts are going quicker than usual.
There have already been 545,000 accounts restored. That represents more than 96% of all the accounts that were affected since the storm hit. But this, to be where we are now, this has probably been the fastest restoration.
Governor DeSantis says crews are working to restore the remaining 23,000 residents still without lights. He said it still may take some time depending on the damage to power lines and other infrastructure.
The annual Miami International Auto Show shifted into gear this past weekend, and the network's Kenneth Bueno was there to give us a test drive on what the event is all about.
The Miami International Auto Show is firing up for 2023, and in a place synonymous with car culture, manufacturers are bringing the future and the flair to the Miami Beach Convention Center.
I like how they have a mixture of cars. It's like supercars, classics. They have the new cars over there. They have these custom cars. I love it. It's very nice here.
It's pretty cool. I mean, I like looking at the cars, seeing, different cars than you would normally see on the road. And yeah, they look really, really nice. Some cars I didn't even know existed that I've seen, so it's really cool.
Well, they actually taught me a lot about cars and what a turbo was and how everything cools down and stuff like that. So
coming out here and testing out now the new EV cars, it's the future. It's what we are doing now in the future. It's going to be her future because I think all cars in the future for her is going to be all electric.
The coolest things I've seen so far is that and this.
So it seems like she likes the stuff that's more painted, like one of the things that we see over there is one of those Jeep, the Bronco here.
It's very fun. I like going places with my dad the most. It's the best time we get to hang out.
Consumers will be able to check out all the newest models all week long as the show runs through September 10th. Reporting for the Miami Beach Convention Center, Kenneth Bueno of Caplin News.
The South Florida community is concerned this morning following the passing of Lolita, the killer whale. Protesters took to the streets over the holiday weekend outside Miami Seaquarium. As Caplin's Daniela Tholke reports, it has been 2 weeks since the death of Lolita, who lived captive there for 53 years.
Lolita, an orca that has spent 53 years at the Miami Seaquarium, has now passed away this August. And now the South Florida community has a lot to say about this situation.
Well, we're 2 weeks and a day from the death of Lolita the orca, who was held captive here for 53 years and entirely without other orca tank mate in 43 years. So, I mean, when you take a look at what she endured over her lifetime, there's no excuse for that level of, frankly, torture. And so we're here to get some justice. We think that we got to push back against this place. We got to be relentless. And frankly, I'm here to, over time, make it bankrupt. I want the Seaquarium out of Miami.
And I think it's messed up that they, have any kind of creatures locked up.
Animals like this in captivity don't belong in captivity. They're so smart. They belong in waters. They belong in deep, deep ocean waters. Her family's still alive. There's just so much that can be done. There's a lot that still needs to be done.
There's still a dolphin swimming in the same tank that Lolita swam in all alone. It is up to the community to speak up about this matter. In Virginia Key, for Caplin News, I'm Daniela Tholke.
Smoke sniffing drones could be the future of fighting wildfires in California. Engineers explain how it works. When a wildfire breaks out, early detection is key in stopping it from spreading.
Once it grows, it's out of control. It's very difficult. CAL FIRE's goal is to get on scene quickly and contain 95% of all fires to just 10 acres or less. Now drones may be the latest technology that helps detect wildland blazes as soon as they break out.
We're going to have a swarm of them.
A team of mechanical aerospace engineers at the University of California, Davis are building these drones.
The official name is an octocopter.
Equipped with detectors that can sniff out smoke.
We have sensors for particulate matter, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide.
They say it works much like a search dog's nose.
You track the sense, and then you track the sense, and you'll figure out you eventually get to the location of the wildfire.
The onboard air samplers are so sensitive they can detect smoke before it becomes visible to cameras or the human eye.
Even down to the nanomoles, like very small amounts.
The drone can then follow the trail to pinpoint the precise origin of the fire and quickly alert firefighters.
Our hope is basically we can catch or detect the wildfire as early as possible. And that means that the damage caused by the fire will be minimized.
And with the potential to protect millions of dollars worth of property, the drones are actually pretty economical.
And the whole thing is about $2,000.
The engineers have been working with CAL FIRE, experimenting with the drones on several prescribed burns. And so far, they've seen success.
You need to show them that it works, and then you can gradually incorporate this into their workflow.
Flight time, so they would only be launched during the times of high fire danger.
Young people are concerned about the high cost of housing in the United States, as it makes it impossible for them to get their homes. Caplin News reporter Abdul Jabbar has more to speak about this issue.
Due to high housing prices and low wages, it's becoming challenging for young people to rent or buy a house, as they encounter a complex landscape when attempting to acquire a property. I spoke with young individuals and a real estate expert about this situation, which is affecting Gen Z and many millennials. Here is what they say.
I'm terrified, I'm scared with the high prices right now to buy a house, to rent. It's been impossible for us, Gen Z, to achieve that goal. I'm really, really terrified.
Price of homes and apartments has risen, and many young people are unable to save up for a down payment or qualify for a mortgage.
It's very difficult to young people to rent a house because the high cost for the renting monthly houses, and they have to pay 3 monthly in advance. It's too hard for young people to get the money.
It's crucial for society and leaders to ensure that young people have access to affordable housing, with improvements in the economy and reductions in housing prices that enable them to become homeowners.
Young people have shifted their preference, moving away from traditional houses to residences that match their lifestyle, but most important, their income levels. Reporting for Caplin News, this is Abdul Jabbar.
While numerous businesses in Miami Beach are closing, the Regal Theater seems destined to endure at the Lincoln Road Mall. As Caplin's Julia Tesseris reports, it comes after an earlier announcement that the theater would close.
Here on Miami Beach, there's a remarkable story of resilience and revival. Behind me, this historical theater was set to close in January of this year, and it's now buzzing with life and determined to stay open. Amid bankruptcy in January of this year, Regal Cinemas planned to close almost 40 theaters across the United States. Unfortunately, the theater on Miami Beach's Lincoln Road was on that list. Just a few months ago, the future looked bleak. Moviegoers and local residents were heartbroken over the impending closure of this beloved landmark.
I was bummed out. I was miserable. This is the only theater, well, it's my preferred theater. I bypassed a couple of theaters just to come here because I'm on the mainland. So I was really disappointed to learn they were closing. I just really like the theater. I like that it's on the beach. I think it is, well, it was one of the only theaters on the beach for a while.
This iconic theater, nestled in the heart of the bustling Lincoln Road pedestrian mall, has a rich history dating back several decades. In addition to showing a diverse selection of films, including classics and the latest releases, the Lincoln Road Theater has become more than just a place to watch movies. It has transformed into a cultural hub, hosting special events, exclusive premieres, and collaborating with local artists and performers.
You can see the excitement is on my face. I'm very excited to learn that the theater is actually going to stay open. I told everyone I know when they announced that they were closing that they were actually going, and now I can't wait to tell everybody I know that they're actually going to stay open. Yeah, it's really good news.
The Regal Cinema is not only staying open, but thriving. The theater that was on the brink of closure earlier this year has been given a new lease on life. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Julia Tessaris.
Inter Miami will have to play a couple of games without its best player.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
I think that Key West was Jimmy Buffett, and Jimmy Buffett was Key West in its own essence.
The singer of Margaritaville getting mourned and remembered in South Florida's southernmost island. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Radcliffe Art and Design Incubator is the velocity accompanying the fellow's rudder, as in a boat. Unless there is movement or action, the planned direction is of little consequence. We encourage the creative ideas into action, and from the experience of doing, we critically assess the feedback, adjust, and set out to rediscover the potentialities of an entrepreneurial mindset.
Stem is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
He was known and loved by many, and now community comes together to mourn his loss. Jimmy Buffett, who passed away on September 1st, was remembered and honored in Key West Saturday.
A makeshift memorial is being set by fans and friends at the Margarita Cafe in Key West on Duval Street. This lively island is where he developed the tropical mystique he used in his music. Get transported to paradise with tropical flavors and good vibrations.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Key West was Jimmy Buffett, and Jimmy Buffett was Key West in its own essence. I mean, he loved this island so much, and he wanted to just make sure that everybody on this planet knew how we live every single day. And that's why he wrote the songs that he did, and that's why he told the stories that he did.
The commemorated life of the musical genius Jimmy Buffett was honored through song, dance, and Caribbean fare. Argentina patiently awaits the arrival of beloved soccer star Lionel Messi. Messi will be missing 2 upcoming Inter Miami games. He will be representing Argentina in 2 of their qualifying matches for the 2026 FIFA World Cup and plans to return to Inter Miami after.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Julian Davis.
I'm Nicole Ardila. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.